Your step off of this bus is a step back in time to the forging of a frontier.
Today here at the Ames Plantation, it's one really big event, the Heritage Festival that's held here annually. And the attendance here is just unbelievable. How many people have come out to enjoy this beautiful day and hear everything from the history of music of Tennessee to various animals that I've seen here on site, and the historic presentations being made, of which one I'm participating today in one of the artillery demonstrations here at the plantation.
The Ames Plantation, just inside Fayette County, is uniquely qualified to teach and demonstrate how the settlers of West Tennessee survived and flourished.
The setting here is unlike any that I've seen in Tennessee. You have the plantation itself and then additional structures that have been added that there's no other place like it in the state of Tennessee. So it's important that it be here at the Ames Plantation. And it's very accessible, to the population of Memphis and all of West Tennessee.
I had to make everything by hand. And this skirt here, because she is so small, I cut a curve to it. So we didn't have any patterns or anything. So I had to take a string and measure her waist and measure the length from her waist to the floor. And then I just took 4 pieces of material and cut them to the length. And I'm going to sew them together. Then I'm going to turn it down, put a drawstring through them. After I sew all the pieces together, put a drawstring through it and have a little opening in the back that's a slit, and so the drawstring can be pulled and tied. And then I'm going to put probably a good size hem in it, so as she grows I can let the hem down so she can have it for a long period of time.
This back hand, I'm just controlling how much goes in there. With the front hand, I'm making it start the spin right under that hand. And that's spinning.
This is old-fashioned lye soap like your great-grandmother used to make. There's only 3 ingredients in this pot: lard, lye, and water. And I'm cooking it down till it's mashed potato stage, and I'm going to put it in a soap box over there, and in the morning it's going to be a beautiful block of snow white soap. This pan is going to look just like that in the morning.
This is new to me. The brown cotton is very new. I was just introduced to that last year. This was cotton that was raised by the slaves during the Civil War. I only remember picking white cotton. I didn't pick any brown cotton. But as this cotton is processed, the more you wash it, the lighter it will get. And there were other colors of cotton as well. We had brown cotton, green cotton, but they were very rare. But this cotton, we want our children to know that this is what our clothes is made out of. Our clothes are made out of cotton. I used to pick cotton to make money, to buy my school clothes.
I'm just going to feed the cotton and let the roller grab the fibers and pull the fibers through the slot. You can hear the seeds falling down on the other side. Hear all the seeds falling down?
My father was a sharecropper. We picked our own crops. If we had time, we'd go and help somebody else pick, and we'd get paid extra money. I have extra money to buy clothes.
Prior to the Civil War, of course, there were huge plantations because of the lay of the land in this western part of the state, and then get in more toward Memphis, as this plantation is, the land becomes more flat, And prior to the war, you know, cotton was of course grown in great abundance. And then with the American Civil War, or the war between the states, that all changed. You know, the war settled two questions. One is that we will be a United States, not individual states, and that no man shall enslave another. So that changed, like much of the country, especially the South, changed. And it's taken a long time to get back, you know, to a great economy, in which we've done over the last 2 generations.
Far seen atop Lookout Mountain's crest, through the smoke of that embattled day, proudly stood our Southland's sacred banner, the battle flag of the gray. Their mothers, wives, and sweethearts cut its pieces and sewed its seams. They placed it in their soldiers' hands, saying with pride and glee, "Fight with honor for Virginia, fight with honor for Tennessee." It crossed the field at Gettysburg with Pickett and Armistead, and there brave men fought and died where Kemper and Garnett led. It was carried in the hornet's nest at Shiloh for all to see. It saw the fields run red with blood at Sharpsburg. It stood with General Lee. It stood with Stonewall at Chancellorsville. Brave men died defending that banner on Franklin's bloody field. Though laved with blood, there proudly stood our sacred banner still. So here's to the brave who fought and died for our banner here today. Let not their cause be trampled by ignorance. Look away, Dixieland, 'tis the battle flag of the gray.
We just put the hog into the scalding trough at the water about 148-50 degrees. Just pulled him out, and now we're preparing him for the skinning pole. We're getting all the hair off of the hog, scraping it off. Sometimes the hair doesn't want to turn loose as good, so one of the tricks is to lay burlap over the hog and then pour the scalded water over top of the burlap, and that will help to release it. Normally you're doing this on a 38, 35, 38 degree day. Today it's not really a typical butchering day, but this will work. This will work fine.
These are gala apples, and I'm going to put some cinnamon and sugar on them, and then put them in the Dutch oven with coals underneath it, and kind of get my apples cooked a little bit. And then I'm going to make a crust of butter, brown sugar, and flour, and put on the top, and put a recessed lid on it, and pour hot coals on top, and bake it. This time of year they would have cooked entirely outside. They would not be in the cabin cooking. They might have cooked breakfast in the cabin when it was cool, but then they would cook outside, because as you can feel, it's very warm in here.
Not the real stuff, it's just water.
You tried to get some, huh?
Yes, we come up here in hopes to see some true moonshine, and it's not here. But it sure does look interesting to make one. They do have the recipe here if you want to make it.
You put your beer in there and let it work off. You know? Then when it works off, you let it. Then you heat it and run it, and it comes out whiskey down here.
You start with beer?
Yeah. You let it ferment, so you put your corn and stuff in there, and let it set a few days, and it'll work off, you know. Then when it works off, you put it in that little dude there and run it. Run about a gallon or two on that every time you run, you know.
How long you been making moonshine?
Oh, how long I've been making it? Ever since World War II.
I'm cleaning the small intestines for casings for stuffed sausage.
Now that you can see the color here, and I'll put it in post vise, leg vise. Blacksmith invented the vice grips, so it's okay for us to use them. Someone told me that.
Squeeze and pull into the bucket. Open your fingers and squeeze again. Open and close. There you go. Open and close. Yeah, isn't that fun?
These are white oak baskets. Like last year, this was a tree. And you take and cut the tree down, start splitting it out till it gets a little thicker than a sheet of paper. And when you keep it wet, it's very pliable, easy to work with. White oak is an available wood that we can get in our area.
Well, it was an old-time art form that people could do at home with no real equipment, and young ladies could do it without getting messed up. And I love doing portraits, and I've done other portraits, pastels, and other kinds of portraits. So I'm always looking at the angles of faces. It's really you just look and see which direction the line is going.
Many times people haven't experienced those things that their ancestors did, and I think in order to appreciate what we have today, they need to see how people before us lived and learn about their history of their state and their country. For, as it's been said, if you don't know where you've been, it's hard to plan where you're going.